For 27 years in a row, Action Target has held its law enforcement training camp here in beautiful Utah. We fly in 7 of the top instructors in law enforcement training for a 4-day, high round count, intense training for officers from all over the country. We provide training in low light and dynamic environments, counter ambush skills and tactics, reactive shooting, real world tactical survival. These real world skills and tactics that they're taking away from LETC can be applied to their daily job, every day protecting our communities and serving the public.
All right, you guys ready? Here we go.
My name is Brett Lawrenson. I've been in law enforcement for about 17 years. Today I'm taking a reactive shooting class taught by Todd. This class has been very good at helping to develop a universal tactical skill, which is simply speed and accuracy. And everyone can agree that those two things are very important when it comes to law enforcement and to a lethal force or deadly force encounter. But being able to react to the intermittent popping up of the head plates and then being able to instantaneously get feedback on a proper hit with the head plate falling is invaluable. The instructor is actually able just to hold an iPad, and he's got a variety of different combinations of courses of fire that he can bring up just with the tap of a finger. We are always reacting to somebody else's actions. And so this class is absolutely great at refining your reactions to help you get ready for a lethal force encounter on the street.
Zach Dialong with the City of Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm a full-time firearms instructor in their firearms training unit. I was taking the low-light dynamic environment course with Rick Crawley. One of the things that I think, especially as an instructor, seeing a lot of students coming through, we don't train enough in low light. That being said, Rick took it to another level. He was able to actually get us to think through some of the problems that you may have in low light. It was a very dynamic range. You had targets coming at you, turning at unknown times, which was awesome. Especially you're not just working up a shot timer, shooting static paper. So the technology behind the range was phenomenal. Everything was controlled with an iPad. At some point in time on your shift, it's going to be dark. It's an absolute must to be able to understand and train in those environments. So again, some of the techniques that we learned, especially with the malfunction clearance drills, stepping off line once that light source goes away. These are some of those things that I'm going to definitely be taking home to the guys and gals in my department.
So my name is Matt Corky. I'm from Chesterfield County, Virginia, and I've been a police officer for going on 6 years now. So I'm taking the advanced handgun instructor class by Brian Hartman. So all the drills that we've done are all drills that correlate to real world scenarios, breaking it down to speed drills, accuracy drills, being able to push yourself to the point that fight speed.
Because that's not a piece of paper to me. That's a bad guy, and that's how you do that.
That's something that we don't do a whole lot back home, so I think that's gonna be one of the things I try to implement when we go back. Some of the best training I've ever had. The instructors are great. All the drills that we've done so far, they're all working toward the common goal of keeping us safe, getting us home, and making us better.
My name is Jeff Tracy. I've been in law enforcement for 13 years now. I'm actually in a class that's designed for the application of competitive shooting and how to translate that over into the law enforcement world. The class is more designed, it feels like, to bring things back to the basics, kind of slowing it down, working on some of those key principles that are going to improve us for shooting. One of the things that's really pushed in this class is the fact that officers just need to be out and competing and getting involved in the shooting world so that they can practice. And like I say, anytime that there's time on the trigger, it's a good thing. So this is a way to push ourselves, to improve on our shooting abilities, and to really kind of push the limits.
My name is Brian Vanderpool. I work for the Snowmass Village Police Department. Today I'm taking Joe Farwell's Advanced Patrol Rifle class. You know, I think when a lot of people first think about a rifle, they think about precision accuracy, and we're hitting bullseyes, 10 rings all the time. And that's not the idea here. We can shoot fast and we can get good hits on a target, and they're not all going to be in the same hole. You're going to have a scatter of hits, but they're effective hits and they're faster than trying to take slow, aimed shots that aren't going to be effective out on the street. You know, we need to be quick, we need to be effective, and we need to stop people from harming other people. And I think every police officer in the country should have a rifle while they're on duty and know how to use it and be proficient with it. And I don't think everyone has that opportunity. So to come to a class like this and increase my skills and be able to take that back to our guys that don't spend as much time on the rifle and are, you know, a little timid around it, go back with some of these drills, these concepts, and hopefully build that confidence in their use of the rifle.
My name is Jeff Park. I've been a police officer in California for about 3 years now. I took counter ambush skills and tactics taught by Wes. Shooting from seated positions in cars, around cars, through cars, that's not something that I've got any sort of experience with. And having these training aids out here in the space and the capacity of actually working around cars and not simulating it or using sim rounds is, it's just another level of authenticity and just realism that really drives things home. The need to go around cars, be mindful of different parts of cars and how not to shoot a car and shoot over it, through it. That all is real important, because you don't want the first time that happens to be when it really happens. I mean, the fact that these popper targets were happening on the other side of a car while you were using the car as cover to address them, and the fact that they had to take multiple hits to go down, and that they were on a sort of random program where they would pop up and pop back down after you hit them. No two strings of fire, people going through were exactly the same. You just had to address the threat as it popped up, as you're likely to have to do when it matters. But understanding that the worst case scenario might happen and being able to see it and get exposed to it here is really great. And I know that if and when whatever happens, I'm going to feel a lot more confident and ready because I've seen it before.
I am Cadence Konechny. I work for American Fork Police Department. My class today is the LE Tactical Survival. Different scenarios we went through. We warmed up with some firearms, just basic downrange stuff, and then they put us on some mats and taught us different techniques to keep our balance, and then different tactics on if, for whatever reason, we do go to the ground, how to overcome those situations that we may find ourselves in. I mean, you take percentages and statistics, and you are absolutely more likely to get in a ground-on-ground, person-on-person fight than a firearms fight. So it puts that real-world perspective into things. You start on the mats and they're throwing you around. I literally got picked up and thrown into the gravel, and they just yelling at you, go back and forth and do this, and then you go and you move with your unit to rescue an individual that was downed in this specific scenario, and you have to work together and use the tactics that we learned today. The things that I learned during this training specifically are so realistic to what I do every day and to what my department and what normal patrol police officers do every single day, that we have to deal with these situations, and they're not the regular go to the range and shoot at a target a couple of times. We as a team, as a department on patrol, will be more tactical all the way around and be prepared, more prepared for real life situations and scenarios like we practiced in today.
And this marks the 6th year of our Quarry Ride Memorial Match. Quarry Ride was a sergeant for the Utah County Sheriff's Organization who fell in duty in 2013. And since that time, we've renamed this match, which allows competitors from all over the globe to come and compete at our law enforcement training camp. Our stages today are pistol and rifle, so you'll see a little bit of both, encompassing the skills that they've learned and practiced on the range this week. This year's prize for the top shooter is a Springfield Armory Saint Elite rifle.
Taking these skills that I learned here at LETC and giving them back to our students, whether it's our officers or the academy I teach, they can use them in their career. Unfortunately, the country's not the way it used to be, and we're seeing, you know, these tragic events almost on a day-to-day basis, and people will say, you know, that's really sad, but not in my town, until it happens in their town. So we need to be prepared, because you never know what's going to happen when you wake up, and if you're not out practicing these skills and using them, you're not going to be ready when that day comes and your name's called. So it's important that I can take what I learned here and give it back to all the officers and cadets coming up in the ranks, and so they can use it when their name's called that day.